in the practical sense, I'm a mom and a partner and an explorer and a human figuring out how to be human. So the teachings of Joshua, as I see it, it's information that is kind of available to everybody, and it's what is, in my opinion, the foundation of a lot of major religions. One of the principles that really made a lot of sense to me when I first heard it, it felt like I was kind of not coming upon new information, but almost remembering something, was that this is a feeling reality, and that what matters isn't exactly what's happening around us, but how we feel about it, how we respond to it. Another one of the principles of the teachings of Joshua that kind of blew my mind when I first heard it is that there is no wrong anywhere in the universe, that everything is right. When I found those teachings, there wasn't much of a community at that point. It was still very small. It was just a few people. It was just like podcasts that I found randomly through, it's called the Law of Attraction Radio Network. And I happened upon these podcasts and started sending in questions like after listening, and got answers back that were just kind of mind-blowing for me. It was at a time in my life where I had just left a marriage, and my life was in a lot of upheaval, it felt like. And so I felt like I was starting over from scratch in terms of figuring out who I was and how I wanted to go about things. And so being in that community as it was starting and then helping grow it, it was just a really beneficial place for me to be, where while I was figuring out who I was at that time, it was really helpful to be in a space where everybody was assuming responsibility for themselves. This how to be human thing just that title itself has been in my mind for a few years now, and I've been talking to myself like on my phone and in video for several years now. And that was just kind of what I saw as my purpose in doing that, was me figuring out how to be human. A few months ago, my friend Astrid approached me about starting a podcast together where we talk about these same ideas, but also, from the human perspective, because the teachings of Joshua, it comes through a human, and it's presented as infinite intelligence, that's from the non-physical. And so we're more interested in talking about how we're experiencing it as humans. We are here in this realm dealing with these things that are just human. And so even if we are like spirit bodies, that doesn't help in the practical, like in the here and now. So that's what we're really interested in doing is, yes, sharing these ideas about maybe an ideal kind of approach to life, but then also sharing the perspective of how that actually works as we play it out in the human experience. I think there's so many things that we are all experiencing as humans, but feel alone in, because it's not always like easy to talk about it. These big feelings are part of being human, and I think that they are all valid and serve a really important role here. When we can relate and connect to other people about these really intense emotions, that just makes it a little bit easier to exist inside of them. Or move through them. Astrid and I have both came in and almost jumped straight on to the Tower of Terror, kind of, in terms of how we have experienced our lives emotionally, where we've both been to some really dark places and have just had a lot of big emotions since we were kids that we didn't necessarily know how to process or kind of see another side to. And so that's something where we are interested in kind of reconciling that and applying this without just rejecting those parts, figuring out how it all integrates together to make sense in terms of just how to be a human. The way that I want it to serve the world is to just provide a space for anybody who wants to come and explore what the fullest and truest version of them looks like, whatever that means to them. It's my hope is that people just feel free to come in and play. Like I said, I'm still in the process of figuring it out, but that is more and more becoming exciting, to me, instead of daunting. I go through these waves of, who am I and what am I doing here, and that's an important part of it. But Yeah, I see how much more of a joy it is to be alive and to be me, whatever that means, when I am approaching it all with curiosity. Like, who am I? I don't know. Like, right now I'm this, and who knows what I'll be next, but let's figure it out. So that's right now I'm human, maybe.